Folks, welcome once again to Pete's Kitchen Garden. It's the 20th of October. It's a lovely Saturday afternoon. It's about 17 degrees today, so hence why I'm wearing a t-shirt quite comfortably. I must start with an apology. I feel like most of my videos start off with apologies because I haven't filmed since I think June time, and it's not that we've not been busy in the garden. There's just been lots going off. I've changed jobs. I'm playing a band and I've been really busy with that. So I have been gardening. I have been keeping on top of it, but not so much the filming side of things. So just a quick summary of this year so far. Obviously, I don't need to remind anybody how hot it's been and how dry it's been. Which has really been a struggle for the flowers. I wouldn't say that it's been a vintage year for the flowers and plants this year, but it has been a great year for veg. And we've had massive crops: beetroot, onion, shallots, garlic, lettuce. Everything's done really well. The greenhouse stuff did really well. The only thing really that's failed this year is peas. And I think that was just because I didn't have time to really keep on top of the watering like I should have done. So veg-wise, it's been a great year. It's October now, and one thing that I do like to do is grow winter veg and try and keep the garden productive all the year round. That's not for everybody. A lot of people don't want to garden in winter. They'd rather pack it all up in October and start back again in March, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not one of those preachy gardeners that says all people should be doing this, because I am. But this is what I like to do. I like to grow veg over winter. We've got fresh, nutritious, tasty greens. And I've set myself a little bit of a goal this year to try and have all the veg on the Christmas dinner having come from the garden. So that's just a little thing that I'll set myself, and we'll see how that goes. So the first thing I want to start off with is brassicas. So we're just going to, got my son Liam filming me today, which is why I'm actually in front of the camera today. Normally when I do these videos you just sort of hear a voice. Yeah, Liam's been my cameraman for today.
Hello.
So here we've got the brassicas. We have cauliflower, purple sprouting broccoli and cabbage. These were all sown in late June. I always sow my brassicas quite late, and the reason I do it in late June is that this bed had onions in this year, and they came out round about the middle of July, I think it was, in perfect time for these to be planted. I think actually these went in a week or two later. I think it was the first week of August we planted these, and the idea is that they'll happily stand through the winter, through the cold, and we can be cropping these hopefully right the way through the winter. So yeah, we've got these netted up. I did buy this netting online. Netting isn't that cheap, so if you can find a supply of it, I mean, another thing that's good is scaffolding net that builders use. So if you can find a good cheap supply of netting, I would definitely recommend it for brassicas, because otherwise the cabbage whites will just come along, lay loads of eggs, and the cabbages will basically rip through your crop and you'll have nothing left. So it is unfortunately a necessary evil. The only other way around it would be to use chemicals, which we don't want to do. I mean, you can use organic, things like garlic sprays and things like that help, but you really have to be on top of it if you've not got netting, or you have to keep coming out checking for caterpillars. So this definitely helps. So we're just going to move on to the top bed now. We've got more veg growing in here. So one of the things that I always grow, I mean, we love carrots, and these ones are actually your autumn king. So these will happily sit in the ground through most of autumn and winter. We've started harvesting these already, some fantastic carrots, really good size and really good taste as well. And what I did with these, I sowed them slightly differently this year. I saw Monty Don sowing carrots on Gardeners World, and he just did a foot wide trench and basically scattered the seeds really thinly, and the idea is that you don't have to thin them out. And actually this year I've not had to thin my carrots out. So that's worked really well, and we'll just continue picking these right through the winter now. We've got parsnips. Now the germination rates of parsnips generally tend to be poor at the best of times, and I think I made the mistake of probably not putting quite enough seeds in this year, but the few we have got, by the looks of it, absolutely massive. So yeah, that's going to be fun trying to dig that one out. I sort of hope they're not too big, to be honest. We've got a couple of kale plants here. These are looking a little bit worse for wear. They were down the other end of the garden, and firstly they got absolutely mullered by the caterpillars. I dealt with that problem, and then they just started looking really unhealthy, and so I've decided to move them up here. and they do look, as I say, a little bit worse for wear at the minute, but you know, the middle part is healthy, fresh, and is still growing. So I think these will do okay now, and hopefully we'll get a bit of a harvest off them. We've got the leeks in, which I grow every year. So the carrots were sown in May, the parsnips were sown in May, and so were the leeks. I don't go too early with those because, as I say, we like to have them quite late. And hopefully now these leeks will stand until we use them, really, and that could be as late as February. And then the other thing that we've got in here that you can't see yet is the overwintering garlic. So if you can just head over there a little bit, Liam, I can talk to camera.
Okay.
Cheers, mate. So, overwintering garlic. I always overwinter my garlic. I don't normally plant it in spring. The main reason I do this, I always get good results with overwintering garlic, but the main thing is that it's out sooner, and that clears the space for me to get something else in. I planted these a couple of weeks ago, a bit earlier than I normally do, to be honest. I normally leave it quite late to plant my overwintering garlic because the cold is what helps the bulbs to split. So hopefully that's not going to be of any detriment. I just wanted to get them in, to be honest, because I wasn't sure when I was going to have time to come out into the garden again. But we won't see anything, we won't see any shoots for probably 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even longer. It does take quite a while for them. But these will be ready by probably the end of May, early June next year to pick. By the time I get round to doing another video, you'll probably see these starting to come through. And that's about it, really. So it's only a short one today, just to sort of say hi, and you know, I'm still here. As I say, we are planning on doing more videos next year and getting back into it, and I'd also like to do some videos not just about growing the vegetables, but about harvest, you know, cooking, pickling, preserving, so we may do a little bit of that as well. But yeah, winter veg, you know, if you're up for it. The one thing about winter veg is it's a little lower maintenance. I mean, I will probably only come out here now maybe once a month because it's getting colder, the weeds aren't growing as much. I don't really have to do much watering as we get into winter, we get plenty of rain. So actually, as long as you have a few hours, you know, maybe every few weeks, you just have 2 or 3 hours where you can just come out and check everything, do a bit of weeding. You don't actually have to be out in your garden all winter. But for anybody who's thinking of growing any vegetables over the winter, I'd highly recommend it. And next year, when I'm sowing all this stuff, we'll do a bit of a sort of special feature on winter veg as well. So that's about it, folks. So yeah, we're still keeping busy. We've still got a nice productive garden. The garden in general is coming along okay. I mean, every year we make improvements to it and we change things. It's not perfect, but it's a labour of love. So yeah, that's about it for today. So until next time, it's a goodbye from me and Liam. And Liam, what do people need to do if they like this video?
If you like this video, subscribe and turn on post notifications. You'll be able to find videos of what my dad does in the garden. Hopefully we will get hopefully if we record next year we'll get a bit better stuff to show around. Hopefully these will start germinating for you guys to see.
So until next time, guys, I'm going to put it back myself. Until next time, look after yourselves, take care, and bye for now.